When I first met Barry Harris, which was in the early 2000s, there were some fundamental principles that I had thought were correct because it's the kind of thing that we're all told, and he blew them out of the water. So this isn't to insult anybody who does these things. This is to say that I found that if you are interested in the standards era, you know, the Great American Songbook, piano players before 1960, then there is a different way to play that when you take the music of the sort of 60s and beyond and try to apply all the principles backwards, I don't think it works as well. So myth number one for me is don't play down the bottom of the piano. We do play down the bottom of the piano and that's absolutely fine, but there's a trick to it. So when people say, no, this is the bass region, don't touch it, I haven't found that to be correct. In fact, I remember Barry saying, no, we absolutely play down there. And after that workshop, I went to see him play and he was playing down there, as is Kenny Barron, as is Hank Jones, as is Bud Powell, you know, as is Tommy Flanagan, all those sorts of people. So let's say we take a tune. There's nothing wrong with having your hand down this low. Let's see if we can get lower. Fine. So I've heard people say, you know, nothing lower than like here. And if you do that, a couple of things happen. If you know this tune, post it in the comments. Mini competition there. There is a way to get it right, and that is to be gentle on the left hand. I think that's something that a lot of newer players don't really realize, and they play just as strong in the left hand as they do in the right hand. So for me, it's roughly 30% left hand volume, 70% right hand. So it's this sort of sound. Not this sort of sound. We don't want that much left hand, right? Very little. No. So gentle on the left hand, and then you can get lower down. If you're enjoying this lesson, would you please give it a like and subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when there's a new video. A positive comment in the comments section really helps as well. And if it's time to level up your playing and get some freedom, then consider joining us on Jazz Skills. More about that at the end. For now, let's get back to the lesson. Which brings us on to myth number two. Myth number two is, in order to not play low down there and have interesting chords, we must play rootless voicings, which means if this is an F major 7, I've just moved my 1 up to 2 here, that we have to play something with no root in it. I'll grab as many as I can. Yeah, I've got nothing against rootless chords per se. However, I'm happy to not play rootless chords as well. And I get so many newer students who've tried to go down this rootless chords journey way too early and use them in all the wrong places. So if you're playing rootless all the time, you're going to have to push everything up high. That's when our music gets just higher and more stressful all the time. So you do not need rootless chords all the time, even when you're improvising. Just a shell in the left hand. There's one. Okay, there's the first rootless chord. But it's not essential. Yeah, not essential at all. So feel free to play roots. There's nothing wrong with the roots. If you're playing a blues, 1, 2, 3, 4, everything's got a root at the bottom. Nothing wrong with that. Low down as well. Nothing wrong with that at all, okay? So don't feel that to play this music that you must avoid the lower notes and that you must play rootless. Which brings me on to myth number 3, that we play melodies in the right hand and chords in the left hand. Not really, if you like standards. So most of the time in standards, I'm looking to play a full chord in the right hand. Let's take a song everybody's heard of. Let's take a simple tune like Blue Moon, right? So here's a chord and just 1 or 2 notes in the left hand. And we're low down, right? So you see, it's more about having 1 or 2 notes in the left hand, 4 notes in the right hand, rather than the other way around. Now, that's not just for ballads. As long as the tune isn't full of 8th notes. When the tune gets full of 8th notes, then yes, of course, it gets a lot more difficult. But in general, that's what we're looking to do. So the times you do want a left-hand chord, or if the right-hand melody has, say, 8th notes, say, for example, and then you might sort of accentuate hits like that, right? Or when you're improvising. And even then, you see, you may play some right-hand chords to fill in spaces. So this playing just a left-hand chord and a right-hand melody, it's not actually how I feel we play. There may be some more modern styles where people do that a bit, but most people come to see me because they want to play standards or the bebop tunes, stuff like that. So those are my top 3 myths. If it's time to level up your playing, then come and see us on Jazz Skills. We try our best not to drown you in information, but actually focus on your transformation and what you should be doing, in which order, especially if you're just trying to get fluent at the moment. If you're more advanced, we've got plenty for you there as well, plus support from me and a vibrant community. Take care and bye for now.